right, welcome back everybody. So we are going to continue working on some CSWA practice parts. This one, however, is going to be drawing in inch, pounds, and second. So make sure that you have this set in IPS. We are going to open a sketch in the front plane here. And before I get started, there are a few global variables that we need to set up. So let's go ahead and get those set up for this particular part. I'm going to click on our equations tab. Click here for a variable. We're going to do A. Tab over. This is going to be 2.125 inches. Hit enter. And then we're going to do B. I'm going to tab over. And this one is going to be 1.25. And we'll hit enter. That locks everything in. Go ahead and hit OK. All right. So let's get started with this part. So what I'm going to do for this particular part, we're already in a sketch. So I'm going to start a corner rectangle. And I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to draw out to the right. Doesn't matter how close we get right there. And then I'm going to dimension this length here is going to be equal to A. So we want to come over here and make sure that that is plugged in just like so. We'll hit our green check mark and our green check mark that locks that in. And then this is going to be equivalent to 0.250 or a quarter of an inch. And then we'll hit our green check mark. We can go to our features tab. We're going to do an extruded base boss. Now this time we're going to do a mid-plane extrusion. So it's going to extrude it in two directions. And we're going to do equal to B. We're going to hit our check mark there. And then we'll hit our green check mark here. And I just want to verify once I come in here. I want to dimension this here and make sure that I am correct. That is correct. That's what we put in there. So I can escape out of that. All right. So now we've got our mid-plane extrusion here, and I'll explain why I did that here in a few minutes because it's going to make it a lot easier for us to do. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this side. Oops. I'm going to open a sketch. Oops. Apparently, I'm already in this sketch. I'm going to open a sketch right here. That's going to turn us this way. And then what I need to do is I am going to start drawing here. So let's look to see what we have here. We've got a few things that we have to get done. We are looking from here. And let me look at this. So that's 0.5. All right, so I'm going to start a sketch right here. I'm just going to draw out. I'm just guesstimating on this. It doesn't really matter at this point. And then I'm going to do right about here. And then I'm just going to click there. I'm going to add a relation to this. I'm going to make this vertical. And then what I will do is I'm going to control and make those horizontal like so. And then I'm going to dimension here. This is going to be from here to here, 1 inch. like so. Got everything locked in. I have a fully defined sketch. Now the only thing that I need to do is convert that so it will gray in here. And then we're going to extrude this to a depth of 375 thousandths. So go into my features tab and extrude base boss. I'm not doing a midpoint. I'm going to do a blind. I want to change my direction and I'm going to make that point 375. Now, and hit enter. Didn't cover this before, but make sure that when you are doing extrusions on top of another extrusion that you have the merge result block checked, because if not, it will not connect it. And if you're making something that you're going to 3D print, then it can create issues for you. So I'm going to hit my green check mark right there. I've got that locked in. Now the only thing I have to do is there's a box that I have to draw on the front plane here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that. I'm going to open a sketch. And then what I need to do here is I am just going to draw a rectangle box here. Doesn't really matter where. I'm going to dimension this out. It needs to be 0.875. Right there. And then I'm going to be from here to here, 0.188, like so. And then my box has to be 310 thousandths, 0.310. Hit that right there. And we need a dimension from our origin to here. And that is going to be 250 thousandths. Right there. That locks everything in. We can do a radius of 30 thousandths on these corners right here. Now, I usually like to wait until after I've done all my features and add any fillets in there afterwards, because if they change the part afterwards, it can create issues for you. So, but on this particular part, they're not doing anything afterwards. So I'm going to type in a radius of 30 thousandths. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these four corners right here. And I'm going to hit my green check mark. I have a fully defined sketch at this point, and I am ready to do an extrude cut. So I'm going to do an extrude cut. Now, what I'm going to do on this time, I am going to offset this. I'm going to go from my sketch plane, but I want to offset it from a surface. So it's going to ask me what surface I want to offset it from. And I'm going to click this one right here. And according to our blueprint here, we have an offset of 60 thousandths. So I'm just going to click that like so, and then I'll hit my green check mark. And now I have my box. All right, so now we have some holes that we have to put through here. So we're going to open a sketch right here. And what I'm going to do, click off there. I'm just going to draw myself a circle right in there. And this hole has to be 136 thousandths. So I'll do 136. And then it has an offset of 1/8 of an inch from here. So 0.125. And then I am going to dimension this at, let's see here. So I'm going to dimension this from here to here, like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 310 thousandths divided by 2 plus 250 thousandths. And that will put my hole right where I need it to be. And then I'm going to do, I have a fully defined sketch. So I'm going to do an extruded cut. I'm going to say that this is going to be through all up here. And I can also do this one as a up to surface, and then I can click that surface. It'll bring it all the way through. So I have my hole right there, and everything is good. So the only thing that we have left to do at this point is we have a boss over here that we have to put in. So I'm going to open a sketch right here. And the very first diameter that we need to do is, for this boss, is going to have a diameter of 0.125. So I'm just going to draw this out like so. And then I'm going to dimension this to 125,000, or 1 inch, 250 thousandths, like so. And what I should have done, here you'll look at this sketch. So this can create some problems for us right here. So I'm going to exit out of this sketch. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this sketch. And then I'm going to open this from the top plane. And then I'm going to redo this circle. Just draw that out like so. I'll dimension this to 1.25. I have a fully defined sketch. And then I can come over here. I can do an extrude base boss. So you'll see that because I did the top plane, and when I drew it originally, I started from here and extruded up and out. So it brings my sketch to the bottom right here. So here we're going to go do a blind extrusion to a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to hit the green check mark like so. And then what I can do here is I can open a sketch on top because I have a hole that I have to extrude out of here. And that is 750 thousandths in diameter. So I'll just draw it like here. I'll go ahead and dimension this to 0.75 or 750 thousandths like so. And then I have a fully defined sketch. I can do an extruded cut. I'm going to go blind. I can also do this as a up to a surface. I hit the green check mark, and I am now right where I need to be. So let's look at a few things right here. All right. So now what I need to do, though, is I'm going to do a sketch plane right here. Actually, I'm going to make a plane. So while I'm exited out of here, I'm going to do some reference geometry, and I'm going to open up a sketch. I'm going to say, or not a sketch, but a plane, and I'm going to flip the offset, and I'm going to make this 190 thousandths, like so, which is about what I am looking for on here, right where I need it to be, and then I can hit my green check mark. Now what I'm going to do is I will open a sketch in this plane. That brings it up like so. And I'm going to draw some center lines in here. So I'm going to draw one out horizontally like so. Doesn't really matter where I end. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to draw one out this way. And then I'm going to draw one out this way. And then I'll hit my green check mark. Now these have to be 45 degrees apart. So I'm going to make that 45. That's in at 45. And I can do this one also at 45. Now lock both of those in there so they're both correct. And I'm good to go now. I have a fully defined sketch. And what I can do is I can exit out of this. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to make two more reference planes. So my first reference is going to be the endpoint of that line that I did. And the second reference is going to be that line. It sets them perpendicular, and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make another reference plane. I'm going to delete that because I want to be from right there. And then the second reference is going to be right there. That makes that perpendicular. And then I'll hit that right there. All right, so now I have two planes that I can sketch in. I'm going to do a sketch on plane 2, which brings that up like so. And I'm just going to do a circle right here. I have 2 holes that I have to put in here. And both of those are going to be 136 thousandths. So I'll find my origin right here, and I'm just going to draw out, and I'm going to make that 136 thousandths in diameter. Oops. 136. Sorry about that. I dropped something on my on here, and then I'm just going to fully define that real quick, lock that in, and then I'm just going to exit out, and then I'm going to do another sketch on that plane. And you know what, let me hide this plane because this plane is getting in the way right there. All right, so now we got another circle that we have to do, or another hole we have to do. I'm going to go ahead and smart dimension that to 136 thousandths, like so. And then what I am going to do is go ahead and fully define that. That locks that into place right there. And I can exit out of there. So now I need to go in here to do an extrude cut. So I'll do an extrude cut. Just going to go blind, making sure that it's going all the way through. I hit my green check mark right there. And then I'm going to do another extrude cut. But this time I'm going to select that sketch and make sure that that does the same thing. And I will hit my green check mark, and now I have 2 holes in there where I need them to be. Now the last thing that I have to do is I have to do a rib. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to open a sketch in the front plane, and then I'm going to draw a line. It doesn't really matter where. I'm just going to draw a line down to here. And I'm going to redo that because that's looked like that put a relation in there that I did not want. All right. So now I need to do some dimensioning here, and it appears that the endpoint here should be 500 thousandths. Like so. And then I need to have an angle of 30 degrees. Like so. I'm just going to hit my green check mark here. And now with that done, I can exit out of my sketch, and I'm going to go over here to rib and make sure that I have everything set. I want to make sure that I am going in the opposite direction, and this has to be a 1/4 of an inch rib. So I'll hit that like so. That's going to put that in there like so, and then I can hit my green check mark, and I have a rib in there. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so last thing that we have to do is we have to put in a small little radius, and that has a radius of 100 thousandths. So I'm just going to go to my fillet tool here. It has a radius of 100 thousandths selected already. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to click that point right there, hit my green check mark. That puts in my fillet. And now I have a boss that needs to go in here. So I'm going to hide these planes because these are getting a little annoying. Hide all those out so we don't have to look at them. Now I'm going to open a sketch on this plane, and I have a boss. So if you hover over the edge of this radius, it'll put you in the center point like so. And we have to dimension that to 1/4 of an inch. 0.75 like so. And then it is going to get extruded 440 thousandths. So we have a fully defined sketch. We'll go ahead and do an extrude base boss. We will type in 440 thousandths like so. Hit our green check mark, and it appears that we now have everything done that needs to be done. Doesn't look like we have anything left. The only thing we have left to do is add material. So we'll right click on our material, edit material, and we are looking for an alloy steel. So we're going to go down till we find alloy steel. We're going to click on that and apply it. Hit close. We have our part. And now we have to see what it is in pounds. So we'll go to evaluate, mass properties, and this is the answer that you should have. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed today's sketching lesson. Let me know if you have any questions down in the box below, and I will see you on the next part.